Hi, you guys. This is Miss Felicia Inspire, and we are doing another Pixie tutorial. Stay tuned. Okay, so I've already molded down my client. I've already stretched my hair, and this is how I am laying down my tracks. I am using my 30-second bonding glue. Okay, so to begin with, I've already stretched out my tracks, and I am using Velvet Tara 246, and I will make sure that I link that information for you in the detail box. So all I'm doing is using my 2-inch right here, and I am going to use 2 boxes to achieve this style. And when you are using the colored Velvet Tara 246, like I noticed, like the tracks are very, very thick. And I think they do that because on colored hair, it's a little bit thinner. Like, color hair is always thinner to me. Like, when I'm using short hair, it's always thinner. So I guess that's why they chose to make the tracks thicker. But in reality, like, it makes it a lot more difficult to lay the tracks. And you will see, like, when you get ready to cut the hair, color, it just doesn't lay as flat as it would if you were using black. But this hair is very, very thick. So I think whenever I'm going to do a colored style for now on, if I choose to use color, I think I will use the velvet edges. If you've never heard of the velvet edges, it is way more cheaper to use that, and it's way more better because the tracks are very thin. So all you will need to do is just tell your client to get 2 boxes of the Velvet 246, and then tell them to pick up the same color in the velvet edges. Okay, so all you're going to do is going to continue go side to side with this same pattern as you are laying your tracks. You will lay it in a U-type motion so that you can lay all of your tracks down. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I am laying down the top as I'm closing it up. You are still going in that U-shaped pattern, and I am adding in a little bit of spice. She wanted some color in there just to give it a little bit more character. So all you're going to do is go from side to side, and now I am using my 6-inch. Okay, so I went from 2-inch, 4-inch, and I'm closing in with my 6-inch. And when you do this, you are going to go round and round until you get to a small circle in the top of the head. When you are doing this, you will be double tracking, but the closer I got to finishing the closure of this weave, I did start using 1 track at a time, and I converted to using my white glue to cover the tracks. Now I am done tracking the hair, and this is how it looks in the top as I close the quick weave. Okay, so now I'm going to begin shaving down this weave, and I am going to be using my razor comb to do this. And you are going to be very, very careful with this. When I say very careful, you're going to be very careful because, like, you can see lines in the hair whenever you are cutting with the razor, and I am slowing this down in real time so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And like, if you cut it down too much, like, you'll start to see like little gashes. So it's like you have to really, really be careful when you do this. And to kind of go back and clean it up, you can mold it down with foam wrapping lotion, but when you do it, make sure you use white foam wrapping lotion to do it. So yeah, you can kind of watch and see, like, there's a little bit of a kind of like whenever you lay down your tracks. And this is what I was saying, like, the tracks are so thick. Like, the tracks are so thick, so they don't necessarily lay flat. So that's why I said whenever you are doing this, make sure you tell your clients to get the velvet edges, and it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier because these tracks are very, very thick. And like, I really didn't like, I like a flat quick weave, but the fact that we're using this, like, it didn't really turn out the way that I wanted, but we had to do what we had to do because that's how they provided the hair in the box. So again, like, if you're going to be using color, please make sure that you tell them to get the velvet edges because these tracks are very, very thick. Like, they're very thick. And if you want that natural look, you want it to lay very flat. So you could just use a different brand if you want to, or the velvet edges. And so I used to, with my razor blade, like, I used to just use my blades. And I was thinking, okay, my blades are dulling out, but I saw another stylist doing this. She took the back of the blade off, and like now I don't use as much razors as I would before. Like I would usually run through like 4 or 5 razors on a client, when really I don't even have to do that, because I think the guard that they have on the razor makes it a little bit more difficult. So when you take that cover off, you're gonna get a longer lasting blade. Like I only use one blade per haircut, like anywhere from 1 to 2 blades now that I've started doing this method. And I started not to even upload this video, but I wanted to show you guys, like, every haircut is not always perfect. Like, you are going to encounter so many different types of scenarios in the salon, and like when you're dealing with hair on the spot, like you have to make it do what it do, like literally make it do what it do. But it is what it is. Like you have to, do your best. Not everything is going to be perfect every time, but you're going to try to make it work. So right here, all I'm doing is pulling the hair out and cutting off the ends. And you may catch some snags on the ends. Some of the glue may have gotten on the ends of the hair. But I do think this haircut turned out pretty good. Yeah, just pull that hair out. And this is going to add more layers. And it's also going to clean it up as well, because you don't really want to have like snaggly ends on the hair. So you are going to do this all the way around the head. And this is going to make it look good as well. It's going to even up everything, and it's going to put more layers in the hair. And you can also use thinning shears as well. Sometimes, or most of the time, I use thinning shears to like put layers in like pixie cuts. When you are done cleaning up everything, all you're going to do is take your wide tooth comb, and you are going to comb the layers out and how you are going to want the haircut to lay. Like I said before, even though you are doing this, with this colored hair, it really didn't turn out the way that I really wanted to. But it also going to play a part when your client, like the shape of the client's head. Like every haircut looks different on every client. Like I do these haircuts all of the time, and it look different on everybody. I can't explain. Like I can do like 5 or 6 of these haircuts in a day, and it look different on everybody. Like that's just how it is. So just go ahead and trim up everything, finish cleaning it up. And this is pretty much the finished look. You're going to put a taper on there. Make sure that you be careful when you are trying this with your razor blade. You don't want to cut anyone. So take your time and cut this weave down. And also, if you guys are enjoying this, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave your comments in the comment box. I really do appreciate your feedback. And I will be using my Andes T outliners to edge up this hair. And I will link all of that information in the detail box for you guys to go and find it. And you can find these at your local beauty supply store as well. If you have a professional license, you can get it a little bit cheaper. But they aren't that expensive, but they are very good. You will get bang for your buck, because these are the best trimmers on the market that I feel. Like I use these all of the time. They do good with my weave, and they don't dull out as fast. So all you're going to do is go ahead and line up your client the way that you want it. Again, like I tell you, you ain't got to be doing too much with this. You don't really want those thick sideburns. You don't want them really long. So go ahead and do your cleanup job. And also, like, you can just make it a little bit creative. You can leave them wispy if your client wants to. But most of my clients, all of them pretty much want a edge up. And again, if you like what I bring to the channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And make sure that you leave me feedback. Like, it's very important. I do want to know what you guys want to see. Head over to the community tab, and I drop pictures of my work there. So all I did was take my razor blade and kind of shaved it down a little bit more to make it thin out. And all I'm doing now is spraying my bed head hard head on her head, just so that it can kind of lay it down. I could have went behind it and used foam wrapping lotion to lay it down, but this hair isn't really cooperating the way I wanted to. So I didn't really want to take any chances with that, So all you're going to do is blow dry that down. And this is going to last her a good while. all short styles really last. Like, it's not gonna lift, it's not gonna bend. And so make sure that you get this holding spray. Like, this is the best holding spray. Like, y'all already know how I feel about bed head, hard head. Yes, honey, I love it. And I will link all that information for you guys below. And make sure that you go in and cut out any extra strings. And this is pretty much the finished look that we are going with. All I'm doing is tapering it up, spraying it, and locking everything in. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave all of your comments in the comment box, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.